Among all these ancient artifacts, one detail immediately caught my attention. These tiny bracelets and rings may have been made for young children. If that's true, it suggests that children may have held a special place in some ancient societies. But that's only the beginning. Let's explore the rest of these fascinating discoveries. Before these coins were created, everything started deep inside the earth. Minerals like copper played an important role in ancient tools, jewelry, and coin production. From ancient civilizations to the modern world, mining has always been one of humanity's most valuable resources. Among these ancient artifacts, this old spearhead is one of the most interesting pieces in the collection. After thousands of years, its shape and design are still clearly visible. Each of these objects tells a story about the skills of ancient metalworkers. But here we can see a collection of smaller arrowheads, with different shapes and designs. These variations show that ancient people cared not only about function, but also about craftsmanship and design. Each piece represents a part of the history of technology and ancient metalworking. But this piece tells a completely different story. A small golden arrow with a unique fish-like design. Unlike ordinary arrowheads, its tip is not sharp, making it look more like a valuable piece of art. The use of gold, detailed design, and the small fish-shaped eyes show the creativity and skill of ancient craftsmen. In this part, we can see several small metal objects that look like miniature bells. These pieces are made from metals such as copper, bronze, and gold, and they come in different sizes. The details of the design and the materials used show that ancient metalworking was not only about creating tools, but also about making decorative and special objects. Each of these small artifacts may reveal a part of the daily life, art, and craftsmanship of ancient people. Among these ancient artifacts, these metal bracelets immediately caught my attention. They were made in different sizes, using metals such as copper and gold. Some of these bracelets have beautiful patterns and detailed designs, showing the advanced skills of ancient metalworkers. But one of the most interesting pieces is this bracelet, with details on both sides that look like eyes and the head of a snake. In many ancient cultures, the snake had different meanings and could be connected to ideas such as power, protection, or special beliefs. These small details show that ancient jewelry was not only made for beauty, but also carried parts of culture, art, and the stories of past civilizations. In this section, we can see a collection of ancient rings, small objects with very big stories. Each of these rings has its own design, patterns, and style, and they belong to different historical periods. Some of these pieces are around 300 years old, while others are more than 2,000 years old. They were made using metals such as gold, silver, copper, and different metal alloys. But what makes these rings special is not only the value of the metal itself. Every pattern, every line, and every small detail shows the creativity and skill of the craftsmen who made them. Thousands of years ago, people were able to create detailed designs on metal using very simple tools. These rings were not only jewelry, they could represent identity, social status, beliefs, or personal memories. When we look at an ancient ring, we are not just looking at a piece of metal. We are looking at a small part of the life of someone who created or wore it centuries ago. And perhaps that is the most fascinating part of ancient artifacts. A small object can bring a huge story from the past back to life. But this ring is much more than just an ancient piece of jewelry. On its surface, we can see markings written in cuneiform, one of the oldest writing systems in human history. These tiny symbols create a bridge between us and the people who lived thousands of years ago. A small piece of metal, carrying a part of the history, culture, and knowledge of an ancient civilization. Among these ancient artifacts, this metal bowl is one of the most fascinating pieces in the collection. This object is around 2,300 years old and was made from a combination of gold and copper. Even after centuries, The decorative lines on its surface and the flower petal design on the bottom of the bowl are still visible. A small part of the bowl is broken, and signs of aging can be seen on its surface. But these marks of time tell the story of its long journey from the ancient world to the present day. This is not just a metal vessel, it is a beautiful example of the art, skill, and creativity of people who lived more than 2,000 years ago. At the end of this journey, we can see this entire collection of ancient artifacts together. Objects that each carry a different story from the past. From small and delicate rings, to bracelets, ancient coins, tools, and other metal artifacts. Some of these pieces have preserved their metallic shine after centuries, while others still carry traces of soil, aging, and the passage of time. But perhaps the most fascinating part of this collection is the difference between each piece. Every artifact has its own style, design, and unique details. Some are simple, while others contain patterns, engravings, and symbols that reveal the skill and creativity of ancient metalworkers. When we look at these ancient rings and bracelets, we are not only seeing gold, silver, copper, bronze, or metal alloys. We are seeing thousands of years of human experience in understanding metals, extracting minerals, and creating valuable objects. From ancient mines to metalworking workshops, the journey of every historical artifact began with the natural resources of the earth. Minerals formed deep underground were extracted, processed, and transformed into tools, jewelry, and objects that became part of human life. This shows that mining and the knowledge of minerals have played an important role in the development of civilizations for thousands of years. Metals such as gold, silver, copper, and bronze were not only valuable resources. They were also important parts of ancient culture, art, and technology. One of the most fascinating things about ancient artifacts is that every line, every mark, and every small detail can tell a story from the past. Sometimes, a small ring can reveal information about the art, beliefs, social status, or lifestyle of people who lived centuries ago. Now, when we see all of these ancient artifacts together, an interesting question comes to mind. Which one of these pieces is the most valuable? Is it a gold ring, carefully crafted with incredible detail? Or is it a simple copper object that may hide thousands of years of history behind it? The truth is, the value of an ancient artifact is not always determined only by the metal it contains. Sometimes, a small object can become extremely important because of its design, inscriptions, symbols, or connection to an ancient civilization. When archaeologists and researchers study these artifacts, they do not only look at their appearance. They examine the type of metal, manufacturing techniques, signs of aging, patterns, engravings, and even traces of soil that may reveal clues about the past. Perhaps a simple-looking ring once belonged to someone with an important role in society. Or maybe a bracelet was once part of the personal story of someone who lived thousands of years ago. This is what makes the study of ancient artifacts so fascinating. Every piece can be a mystery waiting to be understood. By studying small details, we try to rebuild a much larger story from the past. Metals such as gold, silver, copper, and bronze were not just raw materials. They were the foundation for creating tools, jewelry, art, and important objects throughout ancient civilizations. Mining, understanding minerals, and extracting metals have been part of human progress for thousands of years. From the depths of the earth, mineral resources were discovered, processed, and transformed by human hands into objects that connect us with the past. Now, take another look at this collection. Which piece do you find the most fascinating? A ring with a detailed design? A bracelet with ancient symbols? An old coin? Or perhaps a simple object with a hidden story that has not been discovered yet? Sometimes, the most valuable part of an ancient artifact is not what we can see, but the story that is still waiting to be uncovered. And perhaps these hidden stories are what make ancient artifacts, minerals, and historical metals so fascinating to explore. But at the end of this collection, we find two very interesting metal objects. These small tools are around 1,700 years old, and the design raises many questions. The unique shapes suggest that they were created for a precise and specialized purpose. One of them has a surface that looks similar to a small mirror, while the other has a structure that looks like a fine blade. But what was the real purpose of these ancient tools? Were they related to ancient medicine, or did they have another use? What do you think? Can you identify the purpose of these two historical objects?